I struggle to find a more intimidating and more entertaining guy when it comes to UFC face-offs than Alejandro Perez, right? Alejandro Perez coming in this one 22-8-1. They call him Turbo, and he's taking on the Dragon in this one. I know there's some disputes over whether Jonathan Martinez has true ownership of that nickname, but nonetheless, it's Turbo versus Dragon, and Dragon's coming in this one a minus 220 favorite. He just picked up a decent win over Ziviad Lajishvili, and it was good to see him get that rebound win because if we remember, he got absolutely slept by dangerous Davy Grant. It was a fight that he was probably winning, and then just towards that second round, the tide managed to shift, and Davy Grant ended up putting him out with just a beautiful combination. And the way that he was able to rebound against Lajishvili was encouraging because Martinez was a guy with a lot of hype, right? He had just come off that win over Thomas Almeida, and it just got derailed pretty quickly versus Dangerous Davy. And another hype train that was, seemingly derailed is Alejandro Perez, right? You can say the same thing about this guy. He had a hell of a lot of hype for a long time. He picked up a lot of nice wins, right? He smashed Andre Soccer Mom, smashed Yuri Alcantara, Eddie Wineland in between that, but then he ran into Cody Stamen, and you and I were at that fight. I believe Perez was maybe like a plus 300-ish dog, and we kind of thought that Perez had done enough to win that fight. The judges, however, gave that one to Cody Stamen, and after that, he got knocked out stiff by Song Yadong, and it caused Perez, aka Turbo, to take a couple year absence, right? We saw him in that KO loss against Yadong in July of 2019. And then we didn't see him again making his return against Johnny Eduardo till October 2021. The good news is he did get a submission finish against the boy Johnny Eduardo. So despite that 2 year absence, it was good to see our boy Perez get back in the win column with a solid performance of the night finish over Eduardo. So both these guys had a lot of hype. It simmered a little bit, but they are both coming into this one's off nice recent wins. So are you rolling with Perez, the homie, or you taking the Dragon?
Yeah, no, this is such a tough one because I'm a fan of the Dragon, and boy am I a fan of Turbo. If I could watch Turbo face off every weekend, I would absolutely pay just for the face offs. If you guys have not paid attention or watched it, you got to tune in this weekend, boys. Let me throw in the comments also below what you guys think of the face off and his character. It's pretty wild and funny. But man, I always pick Perez, but I gotta go with my gut on this one. I think Martinez is just a better all-around fighter. Now Perez definitely has been showing that he has been, it looks like he's bounced back on that win, got his head clear. He's looking a lot stronger, better, faster, all that. But I think Martinez truly is a top contender in the making. A little setback, but I think he's back to the rise, and this is a perfect matchup for him in my opinion. Stylistically, I just don't see anything Perez does that's better than Martinez. It's either going to be very similar or Martinez just a lot better in my opinion. I would love to pick Perez in this fight, but I gotta go with Martinez.
I feel that, right? And you hate to ever go against Turbo just because for the pure entertainment value that this guy always brings. But this is an interesting matchup and potentially favorable matchmaking for Jonathan Martinez, who you got to believe the UFC. I don't want to say they're extremely bullish on him to be the next champ, but I'm sure they believe that the Dragon Martinez still has a decent career ahead of him. I mean, he is only 27 years old, and it's just that one recent setback to Davy Grant, and then that split decision with crazy controversy loss versus Andre Ewell early on in his UFC career. So 80% I noticed on Tapology is rolling with Dragon Martinez. I would say about 15 to 18% of it is Brown for that KO. 20% is rolling with Alejandro Perez. If you're taking the Dragon Martinez, how do you see him winning this fight? And do you see this fight playing out primarily on the feet, or might it be in one guy's best interest to try and get this thing to the mat?
Yeah, I could see this staying up on the feet. If anything, I could see Perez trying to go to the mat, but I think he'll find out that it's probably not the best idea because I think Martinez is very well rounded from the ground to the stand up and all that. But it wouldn't surprise me if Martinez actually gets a finish early in the fight. But I see this more likely being a very fast paced, like overwhelming, giving all of this anxiety on how crazy both these guys are, and it's just gonna go unanimous, absolute slobber knocker. Probably fight of the night for me.
If you're right, then I cannot wait for that because I would love to see these dudes just go out there and just absolutely duke them out. And you got to imagine that both these guys, I won't say that they're fighting for their UFC careers, but their backs are still up against the wall. Because while yes, they did just pick up recent wins, I mean that was over Xavier Lajishvili and Johnny Eduardo, who's like 45 years old. So you got to believe both these guys are going to be in there, ready to fight, trying to make it a drag 'em out slobber knocker for sure. And if that's the case, then we are definitely in for a treat. And in this one, I've been going back and forth. I always want to pick the dude Turbo. He's always in competitive fights, and he did pick up that recent win. But I like your line of thinking in that Jonathan Martinez is just going to be a little bit more well-rounded. He's going to be able to, I think, dictate where this fight plays out. And ultimately, I like Jonathan Martinez to win a decision. If this fight is close, though, that wouldn't be the most shocking thing because even though he is a slight underdog at plus 180, Turbo brings a fight every single time. And like we saw against Jonathan Martinez when he was a huge favorite over Davy Grant, he is susceptible to eating some shots. So you hope that Dragon has made the requisite adjustments. Well, I like to think that he will, and I'm with you. I'm going with Dragon Martinez. So, any last thoughts on this bantamweight beef throwdown?
No, absolute slapper. Boys, throw in the comments. Did you guys see the face off for Turbo? And then also, who you guys picking? You got Dragon or Turbo? Throw in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe and like the video. Yep.